This is Bill Jasper with the New American Magazine. We all remember Representative Nancy Pelosi's infamous statement that we have to pass the ObamaCare legislation so that we can find out what's in it. That was in 2010, and Mrs. Pelosi was then Speaker of the House of Representatives. Well, Congress followed her advice and passed ObamaCare, formerly known as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. 3 years later, in October of 2013, tens of millions of Americans began finding out what was really in the bill as they began receiving health insurance cancellations and/or massive premium hikes. They also began to learn that under Obamacare, the IRS has been given new powers to go after them and after their businesses and their bank accounts. And that is only the beginning. As with all legislation, the devil is in the details, and lots of devils keep popping out of the constantly evolving details as dozens of federal agencies continue churning out thousands of pages of regulations to implement the misbegotten and misnamed Affordable Care Act. There are many important lessons from Obamacare that we should apply to another huge project that could have a similarly devastating impact on our nation. In November 2009, President Obama announced his intention to have the United States participate in a so-called trade agreement known as the Trans-Pacific Partnership. I say so-called trade agreement because 80% of the proposed agreement deals with a great many issues besides trade. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP as it is called, is an all-out assault on our national sovereignty. It would unconstitutionally transfer legislative powers from the U.S. Congress, our state legislatures, our city and county governments, to multinational corporations and unaccountable international bureaucrats at the World Trade Organization, otherwise known as the WTO. Incredibly, it would also transfer judicial powers from our federal and state courts, which are already bad enough, to globalist TPP judges at regional tribunals and the WTO. It would also confer huge advantages on foreign businesses and large multinationals, while at the same time putting companies that operate here in America, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, at a competitive disadvantage. American businesses would remain shackled by the regulations of EPA, FDA, OSHA, etc., while their foreign competitors could operate here unimpeded by those same strictures. Like the infamous NAFTA trade agreement passed in the 1990s, the TPP would usher in another wave of outsourcing, as the remaining manufacturing and technology bases would be given incentives to move to the Pacific Rim countries, resulting in millions of more American job losses. With TPP negotiations on track to be completed by the end of 2013, President Obama will likely ask Congress to approve this trade agreement in early 2014. Contact your senators and representatives and urge them to oppose the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and visit thenewamerican.com to see the many informative articles we've published detailing the dangers of the TPP.